I'm his daughter Victoria.
And welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to be making for you a delicious and simple stuffed chicken breast.
It is so good. And you know what I love about it, Victoria?
What?
Is that it's so easy but full of flavor.
That's right. It's perfect for a weeknight meal, even though it tastes like you've made it on the weekend and spent hours making it.
Yeah. And now that fall's here, we're all using our ovens again and baking. So this is something that's so easy. We can just pop in the oven and presto, it's done.
Exactly. Just a few minutes to prepare and just right in the oven. Delicious. So should we show them how it's done?
Let's do it.
All right. So now we're going to start stuffing the chicken.
And to stuff our chicken today, we're going to use my Sicilian grandmother's secret meat stuffing that we prepared.
Yum.
And if you want the recipe for this, Victoria is going to put the link on this video and you can see the video of how we made this as well. So let's get started, Victoria.
All right. So we have this beautiful butterfly chicken breast, but you can use whatever meat of choice. You can use pork, chops, or chicken. And if for some reason, of course, in the States, you can't really get it beautifully butterflied like this. So if you get just a whole chicken breast or a pork chop, you can just simply butterfly it and then stuff it. So we're just gonna do a nice drizzle of olive oil on the bottom of the pan here. Our gorgeous fresh olive oil. Just that way it doesn't stick.
And then we're just gonna line up our little rolls.
So you're gonna put the rolled side down on the pan. Like that.
My chicken's not cut too even.
But like I said, if you're dealing with a whole chicken breast, you can just slice it, open it, and put the stuffing right in there and just put it in. The same with the pork chop. But if you're dealing with a nice butterfly piece like this, you'll just stuff it and roll. It's pretty easy.
Here are our butchers. They will fillet it any which way you want, which is really nice.
We're pretty fortunate with that. So now that they're all nicely rolled and in the pan, we're just gonna drizzle some olive oil on. Look at the color of that, it's so pretty.
And then once we do the olive oil, we're gonna put some seasoned breadcrumbs on top and then we'll put them in the oven.
So here we just have a plain breadcrumb, nice fine as we've talked about before. And we're gonna use a little bit of pepper here, nice ground pepper. Depending on how spicy you want it, you can add more or less. Some ground garlic. Little salt, and I'm gonna mix this and see if we want more in there. And we have a little paprika forte, so a little spicy hot paprika, because we like things spicy in this house. So we'll mix that up, see what the coloring and mixture looks like. I think we'll want a little more of those. Looks good. Get it nicely mixed and tossed, and then we're just going to simply toss this on the top of the chicken breast. What do you think? Does that look like a good mixture?
That looks pretty good.
Would you add anything more of each?
I would add more of the pepper, the Kenyan pepper.
Go big or go home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look good?
That looks good.
Okay.
You might as well throw the rest of the garlic in too.
Okay.
The salt and the pepper, well, that's the taste. We don't want it too salty. Because afterwards we're going to be making a gravy that goes on top of this.
Oh, yum. All right, so that looks pretty good, I think.
Yeah, that looks good.
So now we're just going to simply sprinkle this on top of the chicken rolls here. And this same flavoring would work if you were doing pork as well.
Yeah, it really would.
And like we've said, you see how fine these breadcrumbs are. Love it. But in the States, you can just get a nice fine breadcrumb as well. Or if you want it ground really fine and you have panko, you can just simply put them in a food processor.
My favorite tool.
I know. So you just want a nice little crust on there because it'll get a nice crust on the chicken. You can smell that paprika forte. Yum. And I guess if in the States you don't have paprika forte, you could use a cayenne pepper or something like that. We actually can't get cayenne pepper here. All right, I think that looks good. What do you think? Do you want more?
That looks pretty good.
Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll put that in the oven. So now we're going to be making a simple gravy for the chicken or for your pork chops, whatever you're making. So we have the broth in here. Start off with a nice good broth, and then we're going to be adding, I like to add a little bit of the paprika forte, or you can add chili powder or cayenne, just something to give it a little bit of a kick. And again, add as little or as much as you want to taste. A little garlic powder in here. And then I like to add fresh thyme that we just got from the garden. Adds a nice flavor to it. And we'll be putting in some fresh ground black pepper as well. Depending on what you have for a stock, whether you made it yourself or if you got a container of it, usually it has enough salt in it, so I don't like to add salt, but you can try it and see what you think. If you're using a low sodium broth, that would be different. So we're gonna let this cook a little bit, let it come up to a boil, and once that does, I'll show you how we're gonna thicken that. So as you can see, it's now come to a nice boil here, and you can already start to smell the fresh thyme and the garlic. Smells good. So now what we'll do, now that all those flavors have melded, is we're gonna get it a little bit thicker. So what I have in here is a little bit of flour and water that we've gotten nice and thin here and mixed together. You don't want any lumps in that because you don't want a lumpy gravy. You can also use cornstarch if you prefer cornstarch. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna pour that in and whisk it as you do, that way you don't have any lumps. And you're gonna keep this on a medium heat to do that. And just keep working it. As you can see, it's already starting to thicken here. And at this point, what you're gonna wanna do, because it already has that nice flavor, is you just wanna cook it so it doesn't have a raw flour flavor. Just keep it moving. See how it's already looking really good. And it's perfect because you don't have any lumps in there. Looks good. Once you get it nice and stirred, we're gonna just turn down the heat. And let that cook.
So the chicken is finally done, and we just slice it up. Look how nice that looks on the plate. And it smells really good as well.
It does.
So now what we like to do is we like to put some gravy on top, and Victoria made this amazing looking gravy.
Look at that.
That looks really good, Victoria.
It looks and smells so good. The gravy, yum. So now we're gonna put a little bit more of the fresh thyme on top. Yum. Love all those fresh flavors together.
You can really smell the thyme.
You can. Fresh from Mom's garden. Yummy.
Mmm.
All right. Do you think we should try it?
I think we should.
You sure? Let's see. Need a little stuffing.
Our favorite part. Mm.
Really good.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. All the flavors go really well together.
I highly recommend trying this.
Mm-hmm. Really good. That's a keeper.
So hopefully you will try this recipe with your family. Excuse me. And please give us feedback too and how you enjoyed it. And for now, Victoria, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Please
All
don't
right.
forget to like and subscribe, and ciao for now.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.